We've seen a return recently of 3D platformers, and there's a new one on PS4 called Snake Pass that takes a different approach as you get to control a snake. But does this game end up slithering its way to the top, or should it just be forgotten in gaming history? Snake Pass is in many ways a traditional 3D platformer, but you're controlling a snake named Noodle. He has a bird companion named Doodle that helps guide him a bit, giving him some tips as well as able to pick up his tail and help him get up to certain ledges. The game features 4 themed worlds with 15 levels with lots of collectibles in each. The main goal of the levels is to find the gate keys, taking them back to the gate and then unlocking it and being able to move on to that next level. The real draw or interesting part about the game is with the controls. It really makes you rethink your 3D platforming instincts. Since you're unable to jump or run, you have to use your snake to slither, gaining momentum by moving left and right, and holding the X button in order to boost your way up platforms by slowly coiling and slithering your way upwards. It takes a lot to get used to, for sure. In fact, even early on in the first world, I was struggling a bit in order to wrap my head around exactly what allowed my snake in order to get it higher up, so I was able to get to top places, and a lot of times I ended up falling over and over and over again, getting a bit frustrated, but finally starting to understand the mechanics. Once you get the hang of things, it works pretty well, though there's still plenty of frustration even as you make it farther in. The game's graphics and worlds are quite nice to look at, even if they are pretty standard themes with water, fire, grass, and air. The game is linear progression though. You select the level and then you go into it, complete it, and then move on to that next stage. There's no world map or anything for you to explore. Each of the levels though has not only the gate pieces, but tons of collectibles you're going to be grabbing. There's coins, and then these like sphere blue objects that you get to collect throughout the course of each of them as well, and it keeps track of how many you've gathered, and it tells you how many are in each level, so you always know if you found everything before you end up moving on to the next level. One small negative, if you end up dying, you do end up losing progression, though there are checkpoints scattered throughout, and you can reactivate the same checkpoint multiple times to keep saving your progress if you're exploring and trying to find all those collectibles. I also like the atmosphere and the characters themselves in Noodle and Doodle. There's no spoken dialogue or anything, but there is some sound effects between them, and you even get to change the expression on Noodle's face by using the D-pad. While no matter what, the controls will take a little bit to get used to, there are a couple of control schemes for you to mess with to figure out which one you end up liking a little bit better. The biggest downsides with the game are, first off, it's relatively short. It won't take you too long, especially if you don't end up going after all the collectibles. If you do go after all the collectibles, it will definitely take you longer, but still I wouldn't see it taking more than 3 to 4 hours in order to complete it initially. The other big issue is with the camera. I fault the camera from start to finish in this game. You can hit the R1 button in order to instantly change the camera perspective, though a lot of times it doesn't seem to really do a whole lot of difference. But the biggest problem is you do have freedom with the camera to move it with the right joystick, but a lot of times I'm using already the left joystick and the other buttons in order to get my snake to go up different platforms, and I just have to kind of barely sneak my thumb over so that I'm able to hit the right joystick, and while I'm still doing that, the snake ends up falling off the platform I'm trying to hang on to. There is a balance to it, being able to coil yourself around different platforms so that you're able to kind of stay put, then move the camera, but still, I felt that the camera was one of the weakest aspects for sure when it came to Snake Pass. While I enjoyed the game for the most part, the best part for me was the soundtrack, as it's composed by David Wise of Rare fame, and pretty much any music he ends up doing usually ends up being great, and I think he did a good job with the Snake Pass soundtrack. From the technical side of things though, the game didn't crash on me, I didn't run into major slowdown or glitching of any sort. Snake Pass is available on the PlayStation 4 for $19.99. It features a full trophy list, including a Platinum. Overall, Snake Pass is a fun game, but the camera issues ended up weighing on me the farther I ended up making it in, with a lot of times I ended up messing up on a certain platform by just not having the right perspective. It was hard to tell sometimes the distance between my snake and where I was trying to go, just because the camera was either too zoomed in or too far away, depending. there's going to be a lot of people out there that really end up liking this game, and I think if you like 3D platformers, you're probably going to really end up enjoying the game, even if it ends up being relatively short. With everything said, though, I'm going to be giving Snake Pass a 6 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.